Do you know that ignorance is the cause of misery? Ignorance is the root cause. It's the breeding ground for all other afflictions which we have discussed in the previous video. The asmita, rag, dves and abhinivesh. So let's understand what is that ignorance which is creating so much of illusion, so much of delusion in our mind, and which is not letting us explore our full potential and realize our own self. So very beautifully it has been shared by Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It says that understanding of non-eternal as eternal, something which is changing, we think that it is not changing. It's our own life, it's our own thoughts, emotions, feelings. They are changing every single moment. But at that moment, when we are facing that, we think that it's going to be there all the time. That's why we take wrong decisions. And because of this misidentification of non-eternal as eternal, we suffer. You know, we are not this body, and we think that this body is eternal, it's going to be forever. That's why we take this body too seriously, and we think and we superimpose our identification over this body. I know it's a little heavy, but as we will go further, you will be able to understand more clearly. Now, coming ahead with the second point which Patanjali is trying to point out is understanding of something which is painful. We are thinking it is pleasurable. It's giving us pleasure. In actuality, it is giving us pain. You know, we are running behind fame, money, success and so many different things, and we think that they are going to give us pleasure. But the more we achieve, there is more the desire to achieve. So here the point is, I'm not telling that you achieving success and all those things are wrong, but identifying and thinking that this is the thing which is giving me pleasure and getting attached with it is wrong, is creating so much of suffering within us, and it is creating ignorance, who is the breeding cause of all other afflictions. So it's time to realize that those are the things which are not giving us pleasure. Pleasure can only come through which is not going to bind you, which makes you feel liberated. Have you not experienced that if you want to achieve something and the time you achieved, the desire has gone and you want to achieve something other or something else? So this is how it functions. Achieve things, there's no problem with that, but don't identify yourself with that. Remain as a witness. And the next point is understanding or thinking of impure as pure. What is impure? Impure is something which binds you, which makes you feel small, which makes you feel stressed out. So anything which is making you feel sort of depressed, even in long term or even in short term. Maybe it is covered by pleasure for a few seconds, but it's your duty to identify it. So what is happening is we are thinking of something as pleasurable, or we are thinking something which is giving us pain in the long term or even in the short term. But we are thinking that that thing is pure, but in actuality that is impure. Only the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the highest reality which liberates us, which makes us realize about our own divine potential, only the knowledge is the purest, which takes us ahead towards this journey of life. Now, so the next point Patanjali is trying to say, he says that the realization of non-self as the self. So let's understand what he is trying to say. What is that non-self? Anything which we are not. We think that we are this body, we are all these thoughts, we all are these emotions. And that's why all the conflicts, all the separation that we experience, which creates more sort of ego and stress, which makes us miserable, and that's why we are suffering. So the realization of non-self as the self, identifying yourself with something which you are not, it's going to give you endless pain and misery. So that is the cause of ignorance. And from there, it is the breeding ground for all other afflictions. So now, as we have realized that these are the causes of the ignorance, so now we can work upon all this. Now, the question is, how can we work upon all this? Through the practice of meditation, pranayama, and all other yogic practices, contemplation, spending some time in solitude, and asking this question, who am I? Why am I here? What is the higher purpose of my life? Because this life is so short and impermanent, even next moment is promised to none of us. So why not seek the highest? Ask higher questions about the self. So contemplate, study these scriptures, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Bhagavad Gita, and get the knowledge of the self under the guidance of a guru. I hope you got the value from this video. If you have any question, you can ask me personally. And if you like the video, please share it with all your loved ones and comment what is your understanding and that one takeaway which you are going to apply in your life. Thank you so much for watching the video. Namaste.